Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final episode of the Red Shirt Interviews for this season. That show that somehow magically, amazingly allows us to talk to really awesome people. I'm your host, Laz D, the Pseudo Kiwi, and with me is...
the illustrious Patrick M, wondering what kind of name we're going to change it to once we get into future episodes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be something equally tasteless.
Woohoo! Tasteless.
And with our guest this week, our guest this episode, who is enjoying his Starbucks beyond all reason, is the amazingly talented Theodus Crane. Thanks for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Basically, you know, everybody kind of knows you from your time with AMC's The Walking Dead. And we definitely want to talk about that a little bit. We want to talk about another very funny movie you were in called The Starving Games, and also another project you have underway that we'll get to in a little bit. Also, for all those who are watching us right now, when we get to a certain point in the show, I like to jump in with a little bit of a game just to mix things up. So in this episode, we're going to be playing a game with Theodus called Walker or Walker.
And we'll explain that when we get there because we don't want to scare everybody away yet.
That's right, because...
operative term is yet.
That's right, because Theodus is good at scaring people. I mean, I love the show, and he scares the living shit out of me. Well, okay, Theodus, you know, again, thank you for coming on our show with us and talking to us. What I'd like to do is just talk about a little bit with your time on AMC's The Walking Dead. We do see that you actually had a role as Big Tiny, one of the convicts, in, I'm going to say, season 4?
Season 3, that's correct.
Right, okay. And then you've also had many recurring roles as, you know, many of our friendly shamblers, or walkers as the colloquially known. What's it like being on a show that is so popular?
It's crazy. It was, because, like, you don't really know what it means until you experience it. You know, once it's aired and you get your feedback and whatever, if with your friends or whatever, like, you don't really, until that happens, you have no idea what it's really going to be like. And I've, you know, just through different jobs, different work, I've come across people who've also been on the show, you know, or who are upcoming, you know, on the show, and those are the best because, you know, you try to tell them, like, oh, you just wait, like, when you see it, like, it's gonna be crazy. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about, and you really do have to go through it.
Oh no, fair enough. And actually, you mentioned that you know, you kind of wait. You have to wait for everybody to kind of see the episode before they can really kind of grasp what it's going to be like. Typically, how long is it between the time you shoot an episode and the time it airs?
So we shot. It was about. May. It wasn't that long. It was about 5 or 6 months away.
Oh, so you have got quite a, you know, you can't just sit there and say, look, you've got to see this because this is so awesome. This is what I did. This is the kind of episode we're doing. You got to keep everything under wraps for a long time. And of course, everybody who knows you is like, dude, you got to tell us. You got to tell what's going to happen. What's going on? What did you do? What role did you play? And you're just like,
There's going to be a lot of walkers, and somebody's going to die.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the answer you have to give everybody.
That's the plot every week.
I mean, for the most part, I didn't even tell people that I was going to be on the show.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, actually, that was kind of a cool surprise.
It's more fun that way, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, when you know, obviously, you go through a lot. When you played the role of Big Tiny, so it was probably nice to get out of the, you know, not show up every day and be plastered with makeup, all this stuff. But what's the experience like being made up in such a way that, I mean, if I looked like that, if I had that makeup on me and I had to get on screen, if I looked at myself in the shut up
yourself.
Shut up. No. Just because I'm ugly doesn't mean I don't have feelings. Shut up.
I don't care if you have feelings.
But if I had to look at myself in the mirror and go, wow, and look at whatever they had made me into, you know, what's it like just that when you're done, you've gone through sit in the makeup chair and have all the stuff put on you and the appliances. what's it like to actually just be in the role? Do you sink yourself into it a little bit?
Funny thing, my part on the show, it wasn't really makeup intensive because basically we were characters that were just in the prison,
Oh, okay.
with the power off for 10 months. So um, basically, I just need to look dirty and sweaty all the time, and it's just a lot of fake dirt and a lot of spritzing, um,
Yeah.
and just fake dirt. Oh, I mean, God, but it's you get used to it. But there are guys that had to sit in the chair for a long time, cause my prep in hair and makeup was about 20 minutes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. I got off really easy when it comes to that stuff, but I did see some of the guys who had to go through a little bit of process, and I've talked to other people in other shows, and I mean it just depends. Like a good friend of mine, Naomi Grossman, plays Pepper on American Horror Story, and they actually documented the transformation from her and the Pepper, and it's about as crazy as the videos you see of people getting turned into walkers with the makeup and everything. Like it's just amazing the things that people can do these days.
I can imagine. I mean, we've seen some of the transformation videos, people getting the prosthetics put on, the makeup, the hair, everything done. Because when you sit there and watch these people, I mean, it's one thing to think that these people are just playing some random, evil-ish, dead, walking zombie that they have no value and they have no place in the story. But realistically, they are actually, in a way, an anti-hero for the entire series. But coming back around to, and actually another thing we need to know is that we're going to have to fire the people who give us our source information for this show. That's it.
I thought you were the one that came up with that.
Shut up. But the cool thing is that, you played in a role, and you're alongside these actors who have been playing this role for a while, and then they've really gotten into the groove of things. What was it like to kind of interact with I guess if you like the core group of the series? Was it, were they easy to get along with? Did you actually have a chance to really work with Andrew Lincoln? What was it like for you?
It was great. We worked together for almost 2 weeks, and it was really, in comparison, it was a really quick shoot. There are some that I've been on where, an episode might be 12 or 15 days. So, they got our time in pretty quickly. Everybody was really awesome to work with. And everybody's really professional, really upbeat. That was one of the better sets that I worked on. Just a really positive vibe, and everybody's there to just do the best job they possibly could.
Oh, that's fair enough. Now, I know that you've also been in some other movies. We talked about this before we started recording today. You were actually in a parody movie known as The Starving Games, which was one of those parody movies, if you like, of other movies, but this in particular was to do with the Hunger Games and such like that. Do you find that it's easier to work on a movie that is a comedy as opposed to, say, something serious?
Well, I don't really go for the ease of it. I like at first, especially when I booked that, it was just whatever I could get. It would just happen to be something I really loved. But there's so many different things I enjoy doing. I enjoy the really physical, serious stuff. I enjoy the comedy and the silly, the slaps. Because that was it's a spoof movie. It's like
yeah, it is.
The target audience might be in middle school.
Yeah.
But it's fun to make. It's fun to really go into the way they're written and get the most out of it, and that was a really enjoyable set to work on. They were super fast. That time, honestly, a lot of sets I would have spent a week shooting. They got done in I think 7 hours. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, exactly. And I get the, I wore a diaper that day, so it was whatever. But it was fun.
Well, okay. So what really got you into doing acting? I mean, was there anything like we've talked to a lot of people. We've had a lot of guests who have either been in movies, both feature length and shorts. We've been in people who are in big budget movies and more independent, movies or lower budget movies. What was it that got you into doing this?
I've always been some sort of artist. My mother and my father both drew and painted and all that stuff, and so I've been drawing and painting since I was a child. I've always been into music. I've always been into art. Acting. I've been into martial arts, and I knew I wanted to do something like it for a living. I just didn't know what. I mean, I've cooked. I've done all kinds of things, and this is the one thing that I did that when money became a factor, it didn't ruin it for me.
That's great.
And that was, yeah, that's pretty much like the determining factor. Like, I love doing it enough that, when you start talking about money, I don't get that turn in my stomach, like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, it's all right. It's like, okay, well, let's see what we can make happen with whatever. But, I've not loved any job as much as I love doing this.
Right. Well, I see that we've done our research a little bit. We see that you're from the southern capital of Hotlanta, and I've been there a couple of times myself, and have really enjoyed the city. And obviously working with some of these shows, specifically I come back to The Walking Dead. That part of it's filmed in Georgia. Is it good to be back, kind of, I guess, amongst home, if you like to do these things?
I actually, so it's funny. I'm from Atlanta, but I moved to New Orleans 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And then in August of this year, August of last year, sorry, I moved to LA and was back in New Orleans by Mardi Gras. So that was interesting. But I mean, most of my work, honestly, The Walking Dead is the only thing I've really done that's in Atlanta or the Atlanta area. Most of my work is either in LA or New Orleans.
Yeah, well, the one thing I noticed before, or that I've actually noticed recently, is that a lot of production work is actually being done in Atlanta because it's really starting to pick up a lot of work in it, a lot of productions and such. New Orleans is actually another good one as well. When I was finishing my studies at film school, one of the things I had looked at the possibilities of was moving to New Orleans for finding work there, because that was another big area that was starting to find production work and whatnot. Of course, everybody knows LA. I mean, LA is like the given. Everybody knows it. LA, New York, those are the big things. Toronto, not Toronto, my apologies. Vancouver, Canada is another big one as well. But obviously you're in an area right now where there's some really exciting stuff going on. One of our previous guests was John Mangus, and he did some promotional work for Disney as Darth Maul, but he also got an opportunity to work on Jurassic World.
Shot down in your area.
Yeah, which was shot in Louisiana. Yeah. And also the Free State of Jones with Matthew McConaughey, which was filmed down there as well. And of course you got CSI New Orleans. So you're actually in a really good area to find some of these new productions that are happening. I guess we talked about, like, we looked at your time being in the industry, and we've seen that you've acted, and that's pretty cool. But I also see that you've done some writing, or you've started to do some writing, and you're also going to do some producing and things like that. And tell us a little bit more about the project you're working on, which Patrick is
Elephant Man of War. That's what it's called?
Yeah, Elephant Man of War. It's actually Brian Stewart's baby. He came up with this idea, I don't know how long ago. It's been a couple years now, but it was one of those where it was just crazy enough to work. I'm not going to give too much. And he writes for Fangoria, and I think Gorezone is another one he writes for, and he within a core group shared his idea, and people were like, if you make that, you've already got pay space. Like, everybody everybody that heard it was like, yes, you do that, and then we're gonna, yeah. And same thing with me, and you know, when he told me about it, it was like, okay, well, it needs to get made, so let's make it. That was an immediate decision, and yeah, and just it's the start of getting into things other than acting. Like I'm going to be acting in it, but it's also you know, my foray into writing and you know, learning the production side of things. And you know, I've been doing a lot of things lately. Just trying new things out. I've been doing a lot of stunt work lately, actually. Yeah, I've been working on in the interim of all this stuff. I've been working on a show called Zoo that's coming on CBS. I think I think it airs tonight.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you should mention that because one of our previous guests, John Mangus, was talking about his time in Zoo as well. So,
Yeah.
what's it like? I mean, obviously, you said you're doing some stunt work in it. What's it like? Kind of, are you just doing kind of I'm here to stunt for somebody else? Or are you kind of playing a role that happens to have a stunt component to it?
I actually double one of the main actors, Nanzo Anozi. And so throughout the season, we got to do a bunch of cool different things. The show is based around wild animals, so
right.
There's been a little bit of interaction with a couple of different animals. Some lions, geckos, things like that, wolves. And but the show is going to be amazing. People put a lot of work into it. And I've also been doing some work on a show called Underground, and that comes out next year on WGN.
Nice.
And that's been a really physical role as well. But that's been me. That's actually stunt acting I've been doing on that one. I played the role of Zeke, and there's going to be some promotional stuff coming out or whatever, and I'll keep you updated. But yeah, like between those two and just getting things together as far as working with Brian and getting that off the ground, been really busy this summer so far.
That's cool. That is actually really awesome to hear because we always love to hear about exciting new projects, especially ones where people are working really hard to put something together and make it happen and come up with really cool things.
Absolutely.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break from our usual foray into grilling our guests with questions about their career and put them on the spot.
It's time for Walker.
That's
or
right.
Walker.
That's right. We're going to play a little game here called Walker or Walker. I'm going to present to you with a little factoid, and we're going to be nice. There's only 5 of them, okay? But okay. You have to decide whether we are talking about a Walker from AMC's The Walking Dead, or are we talking about Chuck Norris as Walker, Texas Ranger.
Naturally, of course, I'll be providing all sound effects and keeping score and see if you are actually able to win.
All right.
Not that it'll matter, but that's the point.
All right, here we go. Okay, item number 1. Shambles is made of rotten flesh and feeds on the living.
So that's going to be a Walker. That's going to be a Walking Dead Walker.
Really?
Have you seen Chuck Norris lately? Seriously.
Yeah, okay. I'll give him that. Okay.
Sorry, I should give you a fair warning before we started this episode. These answers mean absolutely nothing, and and they make no sense whatsoever. Item number 2 is the clear-cut hero in a world gone crazy.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, this is terrible.
You suck.
Okay, I'm going to have to award at least a quarter of a point because I was hoping.
You were hoping.
Okay, so we'll get a quarter of a point.
All right, off we go. Okay, next one. This one's a doozy. Okay, this one's really gonna make you think. Okay, this little factoid.
All right.
Walker or Walker?
Had a wooden leg, chased Moby Dick.
Say that one more time.
Had a wooden leg and chased Moby Dick.
Yeah, that's Walker, Texas Ranger.
And that's a trick question. That was actually Captain Ahab.
Unbelievable. Okay, I'm giving him 50 points for that one. You make no sense.
That was just mean. I'm sorry. That was just mean of me. Okay, I'm sorry.
Him being full of crap.
I'm sorry. I tried to be serious. I couldn't do it. Okay, just forgive me here. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Well, back into it. Serious, okay? Just 2 more, and I promise I'll be nice. Okay. Wears a 10-gallon hat and has a badge.
Ooh, Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh.
Okay, I think you got your questions backwards.
Do you think I got the answers backwards?
Yes,
Because somehow I got this as Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead. Although sometimes he does look like a walker.
Okay, 437 points now.
37?
437.
Okay. All right. That's enough of that one. Okay, one more, and I promise we'll end this little diatribe here. Okay, last little factoid. Is really a guy named Theodus wearing horrifying makeup?
Walking Dead.
Okay.
Just let him win. Okay,
Fine,
just let him
you
win.
Ding,
Jeez.
ding, 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 ding. There you go.
Okay.
Here's your
we
prize.
know who you are, Chuck Norris. Really.
Here's your prize. One of the cards.
Yes, you get one of the prize
Yay.
cards. Wonderful. Yay. Well,
I need a drink.
yes, we do. I think I need something stiff to drink. Actually, after that, that was a little bit challenging.
That made no sense.
No, thank you for being actually really gracious with that, because we always like to take a moment and just step out of the norms of being strict, if you like, nobody quotes strict, with our interviews and have a little bit of fun. And it has been actually really amazing talking to you. You're actually a real great sport. And as I understand it, you're going to be at a couple of conventions soon. One of those actually will be not soon, which will be, I think, about 6 months, will be Geekonomicon in down in
Geekonomicon.
yes, we may actually be there.
Geekonomicon.
We might actually be there. Who knows?
Yeah, it's actually Brian Stewart's birthday weekend. So
Oh,
coming down to help celebrate that.
Speaking of
Yeah.
yeah, I bet
birthdays.
you are.
Oh, wait.
Because you get amongst those geeks who want your autograph and say, "Oh my God, you're in this really cool show," and you're like, "Glug glug 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 glug," I can just make it go away. Come on, mate, give me something to drink. Yes, that's how it goes. But no, and obviously you're going to be at some cons this year. And is this going to be your first time going to a convention, or have you done this before?
No, so 2 years ago, I hit it pretty hard. And I did about, I think the count was 37 weeks, 37 weekends out of the 52. So
if this was Pee-wee's Playhouse, 37 would probably be like the magic number, and everybody would scream. Anyway,
Okay.
pretty much.
yeah. So okay,
And,
so you hit pretty hard.
Say what?
Oh, just saying you obviously you're saying you hit it pretty hard. You were out there on the road doing things for at least 2/3 of the year.
Yeah, and then the next year I hit it pretty hard as well. And so this year I've been doing more work, and I've taken a break and just training and working and getting things ready for next year. And this is going to be one of the only conventions, or these, so Geekonomicon, and then there's EnigmaCon later on this year.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty much some of the only ones that I'm able to get to this year, between work and training and everything.
Oh, that's fair enough. But one of the cool things, and we talked about to our guests who are actually going to conventions and such, or have been to conventions, do you find that it's a really good experience, overall positive, that when you're meeting with the fans and such, that they're really kind of easy to deal with?
Oh, absolutely. I love conventions. I've actually always loved going to conventions, even before I was a guest at them. I used to go to Dragon Con in Atlanta.
Oh, right. Nice.
Possible. Yeah, absolutely. And, I had always heard about San Diego Comic-Con and wanted to try that. And so I finally got to, But, I've always I love going to conventions. I love doing that. It's a great way to get out and meet people, and it's a great way to just interact with things. Like, I'm a fan of a lot, actually. And so I get to go and have fun as well.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Well, Theodus, it was great talking to you. Thank you actually so much for coming on our show and talking to us. And you actually get to be our last honorary red shirt for this season. So
after all, your most famous character did get hacked to pieces by a machete, so
that's right.
Well, no, it got beat in the head with a crowbar.
That's right. See, I told you we got to fire the people who do our research for us.
That was IMDb. I read that.
That's it. You're fired and I'm fired.
Okay,
All right.
we're fired.
But
No more Richard interviews.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
No. Actually, thank you again. Thank you so much, Theodus. Again, I know I've said thank you so many times that I'm probably going to beat that word with the crowbar.
You're
Crowbar.
texting.
That's right. I'm going to be texting it.
Appreciate you having me on.
No, that's great. We hope to talk to you again when we come back with our new series later in the year. And absolutely, we'll follow your work and we'll let everybody know where to find your stuff. We will pimp out your stuff. See down here, guys? See this? Look down right here. Look right here. There's a whole bunch of crap right here that has to do with our guest.
It spreads out much wider because Lars has this virtual stage.
Are you making a comment about? Are you making a comment?
corner.
Are you making a comment about me being wide?
No.
Seriously, dude.
The little part, actually.
Come on.
There we
Oh,
go.
dude. All right.
I win.
All right, folks. This has been actually the last episode of the Red Shirt Interviews.
Until we rename it.
That's right. Until we rename it and bring it back even cooler and awesomer and with even more obscure games to play. Our guest has been Theodus Crane. Thank you again. I'm Laz D, the Pseudo Kiwi.
And I'm the illustrious Patrick M.
And may your phasers be fully charged.
Okay.
Sorry. Peace, folks. That's